Have you ever been panicking because you were super low on inventory and you're like, I have to get out and source right now. I have to get my space ready for this new reset I'm doing, or the fact that I don't have any inventory right now. And then you realize that you can just thank yourself for being a hoarder. Thank your past self for its hoarding tendencies, because never mind, you have plenty of stuff. I just finished working at Grit and Grace today. It was a busy Saturday and I was able to do $95 worth of sales in the booth today, which made my day. When I talked about January being a break-even kind of month, that's usually how it goes for me. But I was running a little bit behind and I was not sure whether or not I was going to make my rent this month. Lo and behold, today comes and I'm able to save myself from having to pay booth rent this month and exceed my goal of just breaking even. I sold a ginger jar, a book, a little figurine, a plate, some framed artwork, that mountain painting that we picked up from the auction the other day, and I think one other thing. Oh yeah, a little ginger jar as well. So my plan when I got home from work was to do a little bit of pricing on some items that I know I wanted to bring into the antique booth, just to refresh and replace the things that sold today. So in doing that, I started organizing the little piles around the house. Up until this point, I've thought that I really needed to get out and do some thrift shopping for my spring reset that I'm wanting to do in the second week of February. And I was freaking out a little bit because I was like, I do not have enough inventory. I need to do so much shopping. I really need to go get stuff. But in the process of doing this organization so that I could get the things that I wanted to bring in now priced, I realized I really don't need that much. Now there is room, especially in a larger setting like I have now, to find more things and pull in more pieces. But I did not realize how much I actually had until I started putting it all together. So what I would like to do now is actually go through and show you what I've pulled out for my spring collection so far. We'll sit down and price the items that I pulled out for the booth now, and we'll also be pricing some sustainability products that I got delivered the other day. I'm currently regretting the fact that I took my inventory shelves out of this room and put them into the booth, because it would be really nice to lay these out on those shelves right now. But until I get a couple other furniture pieces done, this is what we're gonna have to deal with. I'm not planning on processing any of this right now, any cleaning or pricing, just because I'm not ready to start moving any of this into the booth right now. So I will wait on doing that. But I did want to go through and show you the direction that we're moving in for the spring booth reset. The colors we're going for are blue, pink, a little bit of purple, a sagey green, and then my usual neutrals that I bring into the booth. The wood tones, brown, the straw colors, white, cream, and anything that just feels very bright and airy, kind of like spring itself. I'll pull out some of my favorite pieces to show you, also show the rest of what I have laid out, and then you guys can tell me what your favorite things are in the comment section below. Two of the first things that I picked out for the spring reset were these little hats. I love straw hats. They feel very cottage and gardeny, and I like the fact that this one has a blue ribbon around it, and then I got one that was a little bit lighter that has a sage ribbon around it and a purple flower. I'm not 100% sold on keeping the purple flower on it, but I did love the sage ribbon with it. It's even got a little bow over here. I try and lean very heavy into the florals for spring because I am an adamant lover of flowers and floral pieces. I tend to keep a lot of nature inspired pieces in my own home. So when I saw these little candlestick holders, they're just like crystal candlestick holders that are in the shapes of flowers, I couldn't pass these up, and I'm going to put these in the collection as well. I also found this brass shovel, which feels very garden inspired. I have quite a few different bowl and plate sets, some things like this, these, which feel more like the folk inspired designs that I'm trying to lean into. I have this one with the little daisies in it. And I think it's perfect because it pulls in the yellow, the white, and the blue into this collection. I've mixed in a couple more mid-century modern pieces like these plates that are a mid-century modern pink plate. I think the very first thing, even before I picked up the straw hats, that I picked up for the spring booth and inspired almost the whole collection was this piece right here. It's a beautiful picture with all of these detailed flowers on it, and there's a matching salt and pepper shaker that go with it. I love this piece and I hope that it'll find a good home when I pull this all together. I like to organize my collections by color schemes. So you can see this color scheme over here is more bright pastel, light cottagey, something that feels very bright and airy. Then as we move this direction, you get something that is a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more ornate, and draws on more of the light academia style. As we move this direction, we have some things that are more on the cream side of tones that pull in a little bit of the cottage inspiration, or even a bit on the country side. This allows me to plan vignettes and the items that I would put together ahead of time, and shows me where I might need to add or other colors I need to bring in. For instance, I noticed that I only have a few yellow pieces, and I really should probably pick up a couple more bright yellow pieces. In total, I have about 8 pieces ready for the spring reset, and that's a pretty good start. With a neutral base, when you start pulling in certain colors, you can start incorporating it, and it makes a huge impact with just a few pops of color. What's bad is I know that I have a couple pieces that go with this collection that I'm missing, and I'm not sure where I've put them. So I'm going to have to explore more places because there's probably more somewhere. This is everything that I was planning on bringing into the booth right now. There's not too much to it. I've got this stool, a little hat box, these trivets, some plates, a couple pieces of artwork. I did decide that I want to put this in the booth instead of holding on to it. And then I have my pile of sustainability things that we will go through. The first thing that I got are these toilet bombs. These are prepackaged counts of 10, and then I also did a bulk order. Now, I have used toilet bombs before and not been quite happy with them, so I was a little hesitant on ordering these. However, I used one of these in my toilet yesterday to clean it, which I normally have a hard time with, like water rings around the edge of the toilet, and this completely took care of that. So I was very pleasantly surprised when I used these. To go along with the toilet bombs, we also got toilet brushes that are made out of 100% natural materials with natural fibers and wooden handles. I wanted some holders for my solid dish soap, so I got a few of these. Because I have 2 cats, I have a huge problem with fuzz and lint, so I did pick up some lint removers in different styles. And I also got these reusable food covers that are silicone. I have a few that I use myself and I absolutely love them, so I figured they would be perfect for the refill store. The last thing that I got for the sustainability shop was this thing here, and I'm so excited about these. I wanted to get them a little bit earlier for Grit and Grace's 4th birthday, but they are 100% beeswax birthday candles. So I got them in all the different numbers. I think these are so cool, and I'm very excited to offer all of these in the shop. I've got all my pricing stuff here. I'm gonna go ahead and start pricing items. I do need to go get a container for all of those toilet bombs at some point. I don't know if I wanna do it tonight or later because tomorrow's Sunday and I'm not planning on bringing these things into the booth tomorrow, but I might stop Monday and grab a container for those so that I can bring those in as well. And like usual, we're just gonna work our way through these things, throw some prices on, and we'll go from there. I was able to get everything priced. It will go into the booth on Monday. And as far as the rest of the night goes, I'm gonna sit down, edit this video, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.